In 1970, in a remote valley near Bergen, Norway, hikers made a discovery that would haunt the nation for decades. A woman's body, burned beyond recognition, lying alone in the icy landscape of Death Valley. Around her, melted jewelry, a shattered bottle of liquor, a broken umbrella, a wristwatch stripped of its hands. She carried no ID, no trace of who she was, only questions, endless, twisting questions. To the world, she became known as the Isdal woman. And more than 50 years later, her story remains one of Europe's greatest unsolved mysteries. Tonight, we follow her trail. We'll trace every alias, every coded message, every whispered rumor, in search of the truth. Who was the Isdal woman? A Cold War spy? A criminal on the run? Or someone hiding from a past too dark to face? Grab a coffee, or turn down the lights, because this is a journey into one of the most chilling cold cases of the last century. Let's begin. November 29th, 1970. It was a cold, overcast day when two hikers set out for a walk in the foothills of Bergen. They were exploring a place locals called Death Valley, a name that now feels eerily prophetic. As they moved deeper into the forest, they noticed a sharp, acrid smell, burning flesh. Following it, they came upon a grisly scene. The body of a woman, badly burned, lay hidden among the rocks. Her body was posed, arms folded against her chest, almost as if she were sleeping. Beside her, strange, deliberate objects. A burned liquor bottle, jewelry fused to her skin by the heat, a broken umbrella, a watch, missing its hands. There were no signs of a struggle, no witnesses, no one who could explain how she came to be there. The mystery had begun. Authorities rushed to the scene, treating it initially as a potential suicide. The autopsy revealed high doses of sleeping pills in her system, likely phenobarbital. But death wasn't from the pills. The true cause, carbon monoxide poisoning. How does a woman take sleeping pills and then die from smoke inhalation, while her body burns? The contradictions deepened. Bruising on her neck suggested she had been struck before death, and her clothing bore traces of gasoline, an accelerant. The medical examiner couldn't rule out foul play. In fact, the evidence hinted strongly at it. This wasn't a simple case. It was something far more complex and far more frightening. Investigators quickly noticed more oddities. The woman had no identification. Her clothes had all labels removed, even her shoes. In nearby Bergen train station, they discovered two suitcases linked to her. Inside, wigs of different colors and styles, expensive, fashionable clothing, again with all labels cut out, a prescription bottle with its label burned, a pair of stylish non-prescription glasses, and most intriguing, a coded notebook. The codes read like this: L12M22 and B24P10. Dates, locations, secret rendezvous, nobody knew for sure. Her belongings were sterile, cold, meticulously stripped of any clues to her identity. Someone had gone to extraordinary lengths to make sure she would never be found. But why? Through careful investigation, police reconstructed her movements. Over the course of 1970, she traveled through Norway, Germany, and France. At every stop, she used a different name: Claudia Tielt, Vera Jarl, Elizabeth Lienhofer, Genevieve Lancier, and others, all backed by forged passports. She checked into high-end hotels, paid cash, spoke several languages fluently: English, French, German. She wore wigs, switched hotels suddenly, and often requested to change rooms, saying she felt unsafe. Staff remembered her as elegant and composed, yet visibly anxious, always glancing over her shoulder. At cafes, witnesses spotted her meeting mysterious men, exchanging quick, tense conversations. Was she a spy, an agent gone rogue, or a fugitive trying to outrun her past? In mid-November 1970, the Isdal woman arrived in Bergen. She checked into Hotel Rosenkrantz under yet another false name. At the front desk, she seemed nervous, even paranoid. She asked for a room on a lower floor, then changed her mind, then requested to move again. At a local shop, she bought rubber boots, a common item for locals, but strange for a visitor dressed so finely. She made small purchases, a meal, some postcards, but seemed distracted, agitated. On November 23rd, she checked out of her hotel. 5 days later, she was dead. Where did she go in those missing days? Who did she meet? And what fatal decision did she make? Investigators pored over the coded notebook found in her luggage. Theories emerged. The codes could represent travel plans. They could mark meetings. They could be dead drop instructions, a classic spy technique. But no one could crack the system. Norwegian police consulted code breakers, even military intelligence. Nothing. The codes remain unsolved, to this day. It was as if she had lived an entire life in secret, and even her death refused to surrender the truth. To understand the Isdal woman, we must understand the world she lived in. 1970 was the height of the Cold War. Norway, a NATO member, hosted secret submarine bases near Bergen. Foreign spies swarmed the region, gathering intelligence on naval technology, troop movements, and experimental weapons. Was the Isdal woman one of them? Some believed she was a Soviet agent. Her travels aligned suspiciously with military exercises. Others thought she was a Western double agent, eliminated when she became a liability. And then there's a darker possibility. She may have been betrayed by her own side. To the intelligence community, assets are expendable. But espionage isn't the only theory. Some say she was tied to international smuggling networks, art smuggling, human trafficking, arms dealing. The world of post-war Europe was a chaotic web of black markets and hidden deals. Others suggest a tragic, more personal explanation. She was a woman trying to escape abuse, domestic, political, or personal. Her aliases weren't about espionage, but survival. Maybe she wasn't running for someone. Maybe she was running from someone. Unfortunately, forensic science in 1970 was limited. DNA analysis didn't exist. Isotope testing was undeveloped. International police databases were rare, and crucial mistakes were made. The crime scene was contaminated, evidence mishandled, witness statements lost. Within months, her body was buried in an unmarked grave, her case unofficially closed. Why such haste? Political embarrassment, or deliberate cover-up? If this case happened now, the investigation would look very different. Forensic anthropology could reveal where she grew up, by analyzing the chemical signatures in her teeth. Advanced DNA genealogy could potentially find distant relatives. Digital facial recognition could match her to immigration records. It's possible, even likely, that with today's technology, we could have solved the mystery decades ago. And yet, she remains nameless. In 2016, renewed interest in the case led to DNA extraction. The results suggested European ancestry, likely German or French. Forensic artists even created a facial reconstruction, hoping someone would recognize her. But no one came forward. No family, no friends, no colleagues. It was as if she had never existed, or had been deliberately erased from the world. Beyond the spy games and criminal theories, we must remember, the Isdal woman was a person. She lived, feared, hoped, and ultimately died alone, far from home. Whether she was a spy, a criminal, or a survivor, she faced her end with no help. And that, perhaps more than anything, is the tragedy at the heart of this case. The Isdal woman's story is a lesson about the dangers of secrecy, about the human cost of political games, about the loneliness that sometimes lies just beneath the surface of history. We may never know her name. We may never know her story. But by remembering her, by asking questions, we give her what she was denied in life: acknowledgement. What do you think happened to the Isdal woman? Was she a Cold War spy, a criminal mastermind, or a woman hiding from something she could never outrun? Share your theories in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you want to uncover more true mysteries, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, so you don't miss the next case. Thank you for staying with me through this incredible story. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and never stop asking the questions others are too afraid to ask.